So we decided to go with the large Vicis Zero 2 helmet versus the medium. The medium realistically is more of a youth size helmet. I wasn't quite sure about that. There wasn't a whole lot of dialogue about that on their website. There were some measurement things, but realistically the jaw just didn't come down far enough on the medium compared to the large. And so we went with the large. Once again, I am painting a helmet because of it. So I figured I would do a little tutorial on painting the Vicis Zero 2 helmet. It's extremely flexible, so it's almost like an automotive bumper. So once again, I went to my auto paint supply store. I got the white color that we need, just a general bright white. I had them do it in a matte finish. These cans are awesome because it's basically similar to automotive paint or painting it, at an auto shop, but I'm doing it in my own shop and I can just use an aerosol can. This helmet is a matte black. It has been coated over the top of the plastic originally, so I'm pretty sure paint's going to stick to it quite well. Because it's so flexible, it might chip off or peel off a lot easier than any of the other helmets. I don't know, but we're going to find out. I did take the helmet with me into this paint store to show them what the material was. They gave me paint based on what they think should work. They said, go ahead, scuff it up like you have before, use the paint prep, and then shoot it with paint. So wish me luck. Let's hope it works out. So there's an inner shell inside this Vicis Zero 2, and I've just got to pull it out, and then I'll just be left with a shell, a complete shell, and then I won't have to worry about taping off a whole lot. I'll just scuff it up, clean it up, and paint it. Wow. So here's the inner shell of Vicis Zero 2 helmet. This is pretty neat technology. I wish I would have had something like this when I was a kid playing football. I know I definitely went through concussions, and just in general, you're bopping your head a lot, between other players, and you're getting little bruises on your brain, whether you know it or not. These helmets, I think, are really going to help with those situations in the future for kids not having to deal with so many concussions and brain issues. But, kids want to play sports, and sports are fun, and I think they are important. So, it's that risk versus reward thing in life. But I think football is a really important tool. It teaches a lot of discipline. It teaches a lot of fortitude and the camaraderie between teammates and how to be friends and all those types of things. So football is a really important tool in life, or it teaches you important tools in life. But it's very important, just kind of like auto racing. You need to be safe, and this new equipment is as safe as it gets. So we'll go ahead and paint this helmet up, get it to my son so that he can go out there and play some football, and I know that at least we've got him as safe as we can. So it looks like this Vicis logo on the back doesn't really come off. It's kind of riveted with plastic rivets. So I'm not going to try to take it off. I don't want to ruin it, and I'll just tape over it. Okay, so I've taped off the Vicis emblem back here really good. I think I am going to remove this warning sticker, the large sticker, and the NOC approved. It's got all the NOC approved stuff on the inside of the helmet, so they can always verify. So I'm going to remove all that just so that we get a really nice, even surface. I'll probably end up having to, use a heat gun, peel it off, use some Goo Gone, clean it up, and then sand it down, and then it should be good. So because I've done this more than once, I went and got myself a Bosch orbital sander. It's electric. I'm using 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to go over the whole entire helmet with this first and buff it up, and then scuff it up, and then I'm going to go over the top of it again with a Brillo pad. Just try to get every little nook and cranny. This helmet has a lot of little divots and nooks and stuff like that I want to try and get scuffed up the best that I can so that the paint adheres to it. So I'll just go ahead and start using this and get her all done, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready to paint. I've spent about 20 minutes sanding the helmet down with the orbital sander. I'm going to take it and I'm going to wash it with water, get all the stuff out of the nooks and crannies, and I'll go back over the top of it with a Brillo pad, and then I'll clean it up with the prep all, and then I'll get ready to shoot it with paint. So as you can see, it's scuffed up pretty good. Now, if this was already like painted white and I was just freshening it up for the new year, I would just have used a Brillo pad, but because this was a brand new helmet and it's a complete color change, I wanted to really scuff it up deep so that the paint adheres really well, and hopefully I won't have a lot of paint peeling issues or anything like that. This is a brand new kind of helmet to me, different kind of material, so I'm not sure how this is going to really hold up, but we're going to try it and see. So here's the helmet all washed off. It almost looks like it could be a Tron helmet. I think it's pretty cool looking. Too bad we couldn't just play with helmets that look like Tron, huh? But it's washed up. I'm going to dry it off, scuff it back up with a Brillo pad, try to get these little holes. There's a lot of little aeration holes in here. Try and get them, knocked off as best as I can, and then we'll get ready to paint it. This time I decided to make a little bit more of a helmet stand. I used a floor jack and a bunch of towels, taped them all up so it's kind of like a ball, and the helmet could sit on top of it. This is what it turned out like. That way it just kind of props the helmet up in the air a little bit more. I can work my way all the way around it. Nothing's touching the edges so that I can paint the edges good. So we'll go ahead and shoot it. I haven't, once I got the helmet up here, I paint prepped it one more time, cleaned it up, dried it off with a little bit of air. If not, just take some time and let it dry off so you're not painting over the top of the paint prepare, and then you're ready to shoot. The paint supply store put some activator in this paint for me. You have to use the paint within 24 hours if you do that, but the activator helps it dry a little bit quicker, harden a little bit better. So that's what they would do in an automotive situation. If they were going to paint a car, they'll put activator in it. But normally when they put paint in a can, an aerosol can, they're not going to do that. So in this situation, they did that. I just had to paint it within 24 hours. I just barely got the can of paint a couple hours ago, so everything should be good. Here is the finished product, the finished helmet. It turned out way better than I could have imagined. The paint turned out excellent. I highly recommend going to an auto supply store to get the paint, kind of discuss with them, maybe show them what the helmet is and stuff like that. But I'm really excited about it. The activator hardened this paint so good. Usually it took, a solid 2 to 3 days for the paint to harden. It's solid and hard right now. Like I think you could probably go out there and play with this helmet today, and it's Thursday, it's not even Friday yet, so it's still going to have one more day to cure, which is excellent in my opinion. So hopefully this helped you guys. Hopefully it helps anybody out there looking to paint a Vicis Zero 2. Go out there, have fun with your season, have a great time, and hopefully your helmet turns out as good as mine did.